I've gotten a few questions about my baking setup when I'm overlanding. So I thought I might show you how I've combined a couple of pieces of kit into something that really works well. So I'm only going to show you half my baking setup in this video. This is a baking setup that I would use if I have a fire, if I have embers to work with. I also have a small folding oven, and at some point I'll show you that. But I think this is really a very versatile kit. So this bag, by the way, you can get a number of size bags at fireboxstove.com. They're really well built, really nice. They fit very well to anything about this size. And because the mouth has this kind of wide opening with a drawstring, it's really kind of versatile. You know, if your pot or your pan isn't made exactly for it, it really doesn't matter. It still slides in just fine. So this actually is from a company called Frybake. I don't know if you can see it right there. This is the Frybake pan, and it's really, really interesting piece of kit, I gotta say. So first, let me just take this out, set it aside. I'll get back to that in a sec. This is the Frybake pan, and it looks quite well worn because it definitely is. It's a heavy gauge of aluminum. I don't know the thickness. It's the same. It appears to be the same gauge all the way in the bottom and the sides, which is actually it's Achilles' heel for frying, but it does pretty well if you keep the heat reasonable. It's anodized aluminum. It's an incredibly strong pan because of the thick gauge all the way through of the aluminum and the anodized coating, which is pretty durable. Frybake itself tells you can use metal utensils in it, clean it with sand, both of which I've done. The real secret of baking in this, so you can use it as a fry pan, of course. The real secret of baking in it is this lid, which is totally ingenious in my opinion. This little thing here, you grab it with like a needle nose pliers, or you can put a wire through it or anything just so you can pick it up. But the idea is that it has these ridges, both on the outside and at the inside, forming these sort of indentations. And the really cool part about that is that it lets you put coals on the top and they don't fall off. So it really operates like a Dutch oven, and you can bake in it, which I have done before, and it honestly works beautifully. So you want gentle heat from below, coals on top, typically about 1/3 of the heat from the bottom and about 2/3 of the heat from the top. And it's big enough so that you can definitely bake for a crowd in here. Now, you saw that I set another pan aside, and that's this one. This is actually from Firebox stoves, and it's their anodized aluminum fry pan. It's also fantastic, but for slightly different reasons. It's heavy gauge. It actually appears, I have no good way of measuring this, it appears to have a slightly thicker bottom than the Frybake pan does, and that's really handy. The thicker the bottom is, the better it's going to perform over the uneven heat of a burner or a campfire. But it has this rolled lip, and it has, of course, the curved sides, which is crucial if you want to fry with it and move the pan around and toss things in, in a normal sautéing motion, that kind of thing. You'll see it also looks kind of a little blotchy here. That's on purpose because Firebox claims that you can season this anodized aluminum. And since I have never cooked in their pan without any seasoning, I really don't have anything good to compare it to. But in the case of this, I follow their instructions for seasoning, which involves basically putting super light coats of oil on and heating it in a very hot oven repeatedly. And then, of course, as you use it, there's some seasoning that remains on it, and then you clean it pretty gently. So the anodized aluminum is very strong. The seasoning coating is not, of course, since it's just polymerized oil. And so when you go that route, you really need to use gentle utensils like wood utensils or spatulas and that kind of thing. I use to hold it this pot grabber, which is also from Firebox. This is not a sponsored video. I just happen to love their stuff. You've seen probably in my other videos. I have lots of their stuff. Anyway, this is one of the best pot grabbers on the market. Holds it like a rock, just like a rock. This is the longer version, so it's nice and long. I have pretty large hands, and it just works perfectly. I would say about the only thing I don't like about it is that it's super slick. I find this kind of slippery. I would have put some kind of horizontal ridges going across it, top and bottom. These holes here, I assume, are just to save weight and material. They don't really help you grab the pot holder very well at all. But it works very well, and because it has these flat surfaces here, it doesn't mar the finish or anything like that. And it really works. It's amazingly versatile. It works here for a pan with a rolled lip, and then it works perfectly with a pan that does not have a rolled lip. Just a great pot grabber. Much better than the one that comes in the Trangia set. Although that one, of course, is a lot smaller and can fit inside the Trangia cook set. So I do use that sometimes. So at any rate, my baking set then ends up being basically giving me not only the capacity to bake, but both the things I bake in are perfectly good fry pans. They nest right inside each other. This lid fits on either pan perfectly. As you can see, they're basically the same diameter. And so I can bake in either one of these fry pans while I'm using the other one as a fry pan. And then it all nests together and goes perfectly inside this bag. So this is part of my overlanding cooking setup. It works really well. I've been very pleased with this gear here, and at some point I'll show you the oven setup that I have. Thanks.